music lovers, how are you? My name is Peter Scott White, and I'm a friend of Tony's. And Tony and I go back a ways. I go back a lot further than Tony. There was a time, way back when, I'll bet there was a time, if I looked in this room, looked around in this room, I'll bet you there's some direct descendancies from a night of passion in a 57 Chevy. I could be the oldest one in the room tonight, but I kind of figured that much. And this is the kind of music that came back then. It was called touching and squeezing music. And it was the kind of touching and squeezing music you wanted to get to know one another better, too, or with. Songs like this. For your love, I would do anything. I would do anything for your love, for your kiss. Well, I would go anywhere. I would go anywhere for your kiss. I would go anywhere for your kiss. That was a time when life was a little simpler. I don't know if you can remember back that far. But remember, there was only 3 channels on a television set. It was black and white. There was only 2 AM radio stations. And both of them played the same music, the kind of music that you grew up with back then, the kind of music that will stay with you for a long time. Music like this. Darling, you say, I know you say, whenever you need, you say, honest you do, honest you do, honest you do, whoa, you through, I know, you through me, whenever you through me, honest you do. That was done by the late great Sam Cooke. We had a lot of hits after that. When you talk about music that was hitting the radio back then, music that you might have heard your grandparents or your parents say that this is the music you can get to know one another better to. There were places to go to that just don't exist anymore. I've kind of been in the music business for about the last 50 years, and I remember some of the places back on the old Miracle Mile in Latham. Maybe you might have heard your parents or grandparents talk about them. Otto's, Rudy's, etc. You went walking in and you wanted to meet somebody special. You wanted to meet somebody that maybe you might get lucky or go home with. The kind of thing that maybe enhanced the moment were songs like this. What's your name? Is it Mary or Sue? What's your name? Do I stand a chance with you? It's so hard to find a personality with charms like yours for me. There were great places to go to in the summertime back then, and they're all gone now. Lake George is still going on, but Saratoga had a couple of great places to go. And some of the great radio personalities back then in the late 50s, early 60s. Some of them went on to New York City. Back in the days of early radio, WLS in Chicago, Dick Biondi. You had Alan Freed in New York City, and then you had the Hound out in WKBW in Buffalo. And locally, you had a couple of people that were just people that grew up in the area, Paul Flanagan, etc. They would play music like this. You're 1,000 miles away. to stay. He's not 1,000 miles away. It is only for a minute. And you know, your best friend Rhoda told you. And I know Daddy's home. Daddy's home to stay. There are times when you thought you found a friend and you thought maybe this was the moment. This was the right time. You were going to have a friend. You were going to go home. You were going to get to know one another better. And you would roll up to the front and you would listen to the only AM radio that existed in a car at the time. You would hear a song like this. A song that was popular that would kind of let you know what was going on. Sincerely, oh, I know how I love you. I'll do anything for you. Please say you'll be mine. You'll be mine. Sincerely. That kind of song would kind of get the barriers down, and you would get to know each other very well. And you would hope that maybe things would go very well. Then all of a sudden you would probably hear someone knocking at the car window. It was a local constabulary. Well, things weren't going too hot, so you thought. And all of a sudden on the radio you might hear this song. A song that kind of puts it in perspective. A song, as soon as I can figure out where it comes in, I'll do it. There you go. Well, goodbye, mama. Pleasant dreams and sleep tight, mama. May tomorrow be sunny and bright, and be closer to you. There's just one thing I want you to know, and tomorrow will be sunny and bright, and be closer to you. There are parts of the country where you would hear different music for different occasions. About a month ago I was playing down in Philly, and I had a chance to go back to the old days of American Bandstand. And those were people down in Philly that kind of recognized what was going on. This is a song that was done by the Penguins back then. Earth angel, would you be mine? My darling dear, love you all the time. I'm just a fool, a fool in love with you. You know, I'd like to thank Tony for letting me come in and share a little bit with you. You know, we're looking at about 2 generations here, and then there's me. So, our bass we have Dan White, guitar we have John Repko, and so these are things that are kind of fun to do. And I'll be honest with you, I've been almost 50 years in the music business and I've never done an open mic before. I've played lots of gigs for nothing, but I've never done an open mic before. Here's a song that was done by the Rays. Silhouette, 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 2 silhouettes on the shade. Good night, all. Thank you very much for being so nice, and it's nice to be here. Thank you.